Bring in show music, please.
Hi, I'm CNBC producer Katie Kramer. Today on Squawk Pod. How is every story about the world's wealthiest man, Elon Musk? We're doing it again today, this time with Tesla. California Congressman Khanna joins us, and he says take the car maker seriously, especially in the Golden State's tax code.
California having electric vehicle tax credits makes all the sense, but excluding Elon Musk and Tesla for probably political reasons is just foolish.
And YouTuber Mark Rober making science cool for kids and kids at heart online.
It's kind of like hiding the vegetables, right? I'll make a video about like a Jell-O pool, and that seems exciting. It's like you click on it, but before you know it, you're learning about chemistry and the scientific method.
All that today, plus much more, like Trump versus the Steel deal, Canada's future statehood. And speaking of Elon Musk, his $56 billion compensation package rejected again.
This is one judge deciding.
It's going to be appealed.
It's Tuesday, December 3rd, 2024. Squawk Pod begins right now.
Stand Becky by in 3, 2, 1. Cue it, please.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Squawk Box right here on CNBC. We're live from the NASDAQ market site in Times Square. I'm Becky Quick along with Joe Kernen. Andrew is off today.
And Tesla CEO Elon Musk lost his bid so far to reinstate his 2018 pay package of about $56 billion. A Delaware judge, Kathleen McCormick, upheld her ruling. She's the same judge that had the original ruling in January that voided Musk's pay plan, a ruling that he individually controlled Tesla, and dictated the terms of his compensation to a board that didn't fairly negotiate. McCormick ruled yesterday that a Tesla shareholder vote in June to ratify the pay package did not have a ratifying effect, in her view. She wrote, were the court to condone the practice of allowing defeated parties to create new facts for the purpose of revising judgments, lawsuits would become interminable. In a response on X, Tesla called the court's decision wrong, said the company would appeal, writing that this ruling, if not overturned, means that judges and plaintiffs' lawyers run Delaware companies rather than the rightful owners as shareholders. In a separate post, Musk called the ruling absolute corruption. Since the original ruling in January, Tesla shareholders have backed Musk's bid to move the state of incorporation to Texas from Delaware, but Delaware would retain jurisdiction in the pay package fight. I don't know where this finally goes. It's the same judge. Twice she is dictating in what, in her opinion, how this should go. It's kind of bizarre. It's a big number. I know it's a big number. It's horrible. He's a billionaire. All that's terrible. But do you remember when it was agreed upon initially? It was like there's no way
it would ever happen.
He's hitting these metrics,
right.
And it was performance based. The performance was hit, so it came. And I don't know. Maybe he was. I don't know. He's a smart guy who I don't know if you could predict what happened to Tesla, but it went. It's a multiple of every other auto company's market cap combined, and it's a great story. And crazy things happen. You don't get invited to the EV, conference at the White House. It's a big number, and people, CEO pay and billionaires and all the bashing we hear from Elizabeth Warren and the left. But the shareholders agreed to it. The board agreed to it.
That's the thing that's weird is even after the fact for the shareholders to vote on this again.
This is one judge deciding.
It's going to be appealed.
It will be appealed.
And again, when the shareholders already signed off on this again for the second time go around.
But she says no. No. And wags her finger.
You know what's the craziest part of the whole thing? Is the lawyers who brought the case on behalf of the one shareholder who was upset about this. The lawyers who brought the case get something like, I think they asked for $5.4 billion. They're still going to get $356 million. She thought that was egregious for what they had asked for, but they're still going to get $356 million.
Did the shareholder that brought the suit, has he sold his share yet or no? Do you know whether is he holding on to it?
I don't know. I have not looked into that. Okay. This one is one you expect will come back around. But don't feel too bad for Elon Musk because he does have this other payday. I'd be furious. I'd be furious.
Think about us.
Yeah, I know. I'd be furious.
Maybe we're facing similar things. Who knows? We don't know. We've had a lot of promises. All bets are off. And if
I'm feeling okay. I think everything will work out.
For him or for us?
Well, I think on review, I can't believe that this is going to still be held up for him to have this taken away when the shareholders themselves have voted again and said they want to do this.
No. This is ridiculous. Yeah. Is what it is. And,
I wondered why you were feeling it so deeply.
Yeah. But if something.
It's not fair.
We've had this situation before with the last guy.
You're talking back to GE?
Yeah, talking back to GE. We don't need to air our dirty laundry.
No. It's all good. I think it'll all work out.
Even if I wear the same underwear for a week, we don't need to air. We don't need to.
We especially don't then.
No.
More on Elon Musk. SpaceX is actually in discussions to sell insider shares at a valuation of as much as $350 billion. That's according to a Bloomberg report that said the details of a potential transaction could change depending on interest from insider sellers and buyers. A tender offer earlier this year valued SpaceX at about $210 billion, but multiple reports last month said the company was considering the share sale at a valuation of $255 billion. This probably just shows more than anything. This big step up in valuation there shows how much the value of this company has grown since the election as well, with Elon Musk very close to Donald Trump and with expectations that, this could be good things for SpaceX, too.
How many launches next year predicted?
A lot.
Really amazing.
Yeah.
Shares of U.S. Steel are falling after President-elect Trump repeated his pledge to block Nippon Steel's planned purchase of the company on Truth Social. Trump said, "I am totally against the once great and powerful U.S. Steel being bought by a foreign company, in this case, Nippon Steel of Japan." He said through tax incentives and tariffs, he would make U.S. Steel strong and great again. And as president, he would block the deal from happening. He ended by saying, "Buyer beware." It's the first time that Trump has spoken about the deal since he won the election last month. But I think I don't know. It's a nice bipartisan.
Everybody hated this.
Probably
campaigned
misguided on both.
I would think so. Nippon was looking to invest in the plant.
When Republicans and Democrats do agree on something, they're usually both wrong instead of both being right. President-elect Trump demanded yesterday that the hostages taken in the Hamas attack on Israel be released from Gaza before his inauguration in January, or there would be hell to pay. That's a quote for those responsible. This was in a post on Truth Social. Trump said the perpetrators would be hit harder than anybody has been hit in the long and storied history of the United States. About 250 hostages were captured in the attack on October 7, 2023. About 100 of them remain in Gaza, with about a third already believed to be deceased, according to Israeli officials. The other, it's holding court down in Mar-a-Lago, and I don't know we do know what President Biden's doing, but there are times it seems like he's not president yet, but he's doing a lot of things almost as if it's already January 20th.
Heads of state are coming to Mar-a-Lago.
That was the one I was going to mention, because that was funny.
Trudeau.
You got to hand it to him. Sometimes he's funny, because Trudeau was there, and the trade imbalance is $100 billion, and he said, "I'm going to put a 25% tariff on that." And Trudeau said, "That would wreck Canada's economy." And then Trump said, "Well, if your economy can't exist without, having us on the United States on the losing end of the trade imbalance, maybe you should become a state, the 51st state of the United States." And he said, "It's real. You won't be prime minister anymore, but you could be governor. It's not as good a title."
Is that really what he said to him?
Yeah, and they were all laughing, and people were at the table, but nervous laughter.
We've always considered Canada to be basically our closest ally.
Right.
90% of the population lives within, 25 or 50 miles of the U.S. border.
We don't need to add another really deep blue state.
That's your takeaway?
That's my takeaway.
Canada's a proud country. I'm sure we're going to work this out. We're going to figure things out.
Okay. I love Canada. I
The
love it.
hostages, back to that, there's still a young man from Tenafly is among the hostages.
Unbelievable. I know.
that are being
How
held.
many
They just
Americans?
released,
There's six, I think 6 or 7. Right?
they just released a video of this young man from Tenafly
Right.
a couple of days ago, giving great hope to his family. Aiden Alexander, I think is his name, and the idea that they've been there for so long, for a year and 3 months, 2 months.
It's horrible.
Hopefully
I don't
we'll
think
do
people in
see something.
Canada should be mad that I
Well, they are going to be mad.
Did I
At
say
Joe
we don't
Squawk.
that they don't want to join us. They don't want to be the 51st state.
they don't.
So it's mutual. I don't want a deep blue state joining, and they do not want to join the United States. They're proud to be Canadian.
They are.
Yes. Good. So we agree on that.
Yes.
You're not going to be the 51st state, no matter how much you'd like to.
I don't think they want to.
No, I don't think so either. I'm kidding.
Tease will be next.
Coming up, a California Democratic congressman that some conservatives would vote for. Silicon Valley Representative Khanna says he's willing to work across the aisle, and more teamwork might help America's mood.
If they're looking at a tax credit for manufacturers to keep manufacturing here, I'd work with them. How about raising the corporate tax rate for companies that are offshoring to Mexico to 21% so they don't have a cheaper tax rate here in the United States? I'd work with them on that. They want to have a program for more electricians, plumbers, machinists. I'd work with them on that. Capping interest rates that Donald Trump said. I'd work with them on that.
Squawk Pod will be right back. This is Squawk Pod.
You're watching Squawk Box right here on CNBC. I'm Becky Quick along with Joe Kernen. Andrew is off today. All right, we're going to talk right now about electric vehicles and policy in California. This comes after some recent news that Tesla buyers could be excluded from lucrative EV credits in California. Following that news, Democratic Representative Khanna tweeted about Tesla's production in his district and urged California leaders not to play politics with keeping manufacturing in the state. He asked, have we learned nothing from snubbing Elon Musk at the Biden EV summit? Congressman Khanna joins us right now. His district actually encompasses the heart of Silicon Valley. And Ro, you really caught my attention, kind of getting caught up with some of the things that were playing out. Let's back this up a little bit and talk about Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, and his reaction post-election. He basically rolled out a lot of things to try and say that he was going to protect California from whatever is coming in with this administration. But one of the things he laid out was the idea that California taxpayers would continue to have a subsidy for EV sales, electric vehicle sales in the state, but that Tesla might not actually qualify. Tesla purchases might not actually qualify for that. It's a little crazy. Elon Musk pointed that out and said, he's the only company making electric vehicles in California, and you weighed in on it too. You want to explain how you weighed in and why?
Well, California having electric vehicle tax credits makes all the sense, but excluding Elon Musk and Tesla for probably political reasons is just foolish. The reality is Tesla is the biggest manufacturer of electric vehicles in California. The Inflation Reduction Act explicitly got rid of the caps on companies like Tesla so that they could produce more electric vehicles. And if you're looking, just 3 days ago, the New York Times had a report that China is leading 1.7 million electric vehicles exporting around the world. We're way behind, and we need to be producing more of these electric vehicles in the United States. So I don't think politics should interfere with manufacturing or with an issue of our national competitiveness.
It's probably worth pointing out that Tesla employs over 20,000 people in your district. They manufactured more than 550,000 cars in your district last year. What has the reaction been from the governor and beyond in the legislature?
Well, they say that they want to help smaller companies gain market share. That's all well and good. But the point is the electric vehicle market, as you know, has a much smaller share right now than internal combustion engines. So we should be helping anyone who's producing these electric vehicles. But more broadly, we certainly shouldn't have a sense that politics is intervening. I mean, you can disagree with Elon Musk, as I do, on a number of issues and speak out about that, but don't target a company because of political views.
You said that. The governor has not copped to that. What makes you think that this is purely politics?
Well, look, I mean, the governor and others are going to say this is to help the small manufacturers, and even the federal regulations had a cap of 200,000. But the Democratic Party itself, with the Inflation Reduction Act, took away those caps from Tesla and other EV manufacturers, because we said what was more important to our competitiveness was to have electric vehicle manufacturing flourish in the United States. And the reality is that there is no clear rationale, in my view, that isn't colored by politics. I mean, when Biden didn't invite Elon Musk and showered praise on Mary Barra as the visionary for electric vehicle revolution, that was just nonsense. And the country knew that. I mean, no disrespect to Mary Barra, but come on, she was dragging her feet on electric vehicles, and Tesla helped create the electric vehicle revolution with a grant from Obama. And people hate that kind of politics.
You know, Congressman, this is a pretty interesting delve into what's happening. There are Democrats who kind of look at what happened with this election and say, okay, we're going to fight, we're going to fight, we're going to fight. And that's what Gavin Newsom is doing. There's others who say, hey, this is showing us that we have to live a little differently. We have to make sure we reach out across the aisle. I know you've been in touch with Elon Musk, who obviously has been very involved in the Trump administration on this. What's the outreach? What's the message that you get back and forth when you're in touch with Elon?
Well, I try to call balls and strikes based on what I believe. So when I talk to Elon Musk, if he's for looking at the defense budget and looking at the five primes who've had a monopoly on the defense budget and wants to make cuts there, then I'm going to say let's work together on that. It's hypocritical for progressive Democrats who've been calling for defense cuts and holding defense contractors accountable to suddenly say, no, we don't want to do it because Elon Musk wants to do it. On the other hand, Elon Musk and I have a disagreement on the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, and I have let him know that I think that's an agency that's saving Americans money and helping Americans not get credit card fees. So, you know, you have to engage, in my view, in a rational conversation. Tell people where they agree, where you agree, and work together, and where you disagree, make the case why you disagree.
I think, you know, Gavin Newsom and maybe even California row is in like still living in that pre-election world. You had to have had your eye. I mean, we were going to run, and you know, the Joe Rowe ticket would have been a more centrist thing. I just had someone write in, tell Rowe to run for governor. I'm a staunch Republican, but it's so wacky out here. I would vote for him. And you are a reasonable, I think, alternative to what we get from California most of the time. Congressman, I mean, has nothing changed? No one in California learned anything from what happened on, what was that, November 5th?
Are you changing the plan, Joe? Are you doing Joe Rowe as governor and lieutenant governor of California? Are you moving to California?
I love California. I just wish that Newsom hadn't ruined it. Or that the left hadn't ruined it. Look,
California has an incredible, as you point out, amount of things to be proud of. I mean, we're leading on the innovation, on AI, on a lot of advanced manufacturing.
You want to kill the golden goose, so you don't want to let Elon Musk make cars or give him. I mean, it's
Roe does.
Roe. No, I know, but you're in a pre-election. I don't know. It's like hitting your head against the wall out there because it feels so good when you stop. It makes no sense, right? And you're saying it, but you're just saying it a lot nicer.
Well, I think California needs to realize that we're part of something much bigger, which is the United States of America, and that we need to look out for how we help with the reindustrialization of this country, how we make America a manufacturing superpower. And California has a lot to offer, but it needs to be part of the larger conversation. And I'm not saying don't resist Donald Trump where you disagree, but there are areas where we can find common ground and people want us to work together. You don't have to start the next election a month after the previous one before the person has even assumed office.
So what does that translate to on your work there in Washington, Congressman? What are you doing? What do you think is going to happen with this incoming administration? How will you work with them? And what areas will you not work with them?
Well, on the areas of manufacturing, I mean, if they're looking at putting strategic tariffs on China, which is dumping goods still into the United States, I'll work with them. If they're looking at a tax credit for manufacturers to keep manufacturing here, I'd work with them. How about raising the corporate tax rate for companies that are offshoring to Mexico to 21% so they don't have a cheaper tax rate here in the United States? I'd work with them on that. They want to have a program for more electricians, plumbers, machinists. I'd work with them on that. Capping interest rates that Donald Trump said. I'd work with them on that. Cutting wasteful spending. You know, FDR was for cutting wasteful spending in the government. Why should Democrats say, don't look at wasteful spending? Let's look at it, and I'd work there. Those are just a few of the issues, but there are issues where we have strong disagreements, and I'd push back there. And my sense is that if we could just get the country working together for a year on key areas, we'd make some progress and earn some trust back with the American people.
Congressman Khanna, thank you. It's always good to see you, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
It's going to be JD. We're out, bro. We're out. We're done. We're not. You should go to government. You should go to because I don't see a Pete Wilson or a Ronald Reagan ever again out there. It's impossible.
Joe, I'm
you
still
elected
counting on
Adam
you.
Schiff.
Don't give up hope.
You elected Adam Schiff as senator.
Don't give up hope. Joe Rowe still works. The Midwest and the coast. I'm telling you, bring the country together.
All right. See you later. Thanks, Rowe.
Next on Squawk Pod.
We're in an all brains on deck situation in the world right now.
YouTuber Mark Rober has taken his NASA engineering past to make science fun for millions of subscribers. He brings his latest tactile build box right to our Squawk set if we're open to learn.
You don't have to build that, do you?
No, you get to build it, right?
There's no way I can do that.
You can, and this is it, right? Engineering is a superpower because it's like you can actually will something into existence that doesn't exist.
You're listening to Squawk Pod from CNBC.
Up and Becky, Q.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is our most fun, our most interesting, and probably smartest interview of the day. We're talking about the creator economy right now. Our next guest saw impressive growth on YouTube in 2024, climbing to number 8 on the platform's end of the year top creators list, which I call BS on. That's crazy because he added more subscribers than many of these other subscribers even have. His subscribers now top 60 million. And in his latest video, he announced that he's launching a satellite into space, and he's giving his fans the opportunity to get their own selfie with Earth. We're going to talk more about that in just a moment. But joining us right now is YouTuber Mark Rober. He's also the founder of Crunch Labs. And of course, he's a former NASA and Apple engineer. So he comes by all of this stuff honestly. And what he's teaching to kids is really great. He's been with us before. And Mark, it's great to have you back.
Great to be back, yeah.
All right, so let's talk. First of all, that number on the YouTube subscriber list, I take issue with that. You added more subscribers last year, like 30 million subscribers than some of these other people even have. There's people on here with 6 million, 16 million subscribers. So YouTube, I question your math. If you're talking about percentage changes, it's way easier to have a bigger percentage change off a smaller base. He's got 60 million subscribers.
Yeah, probably what it is.
You guys are dummies.
Let's go, Neil. Double check this math.
But Mark, let's talk about, for people who aren't familiar, don't know what you do. I mean, I love you because you teach STEM, science, technology, engineering, to kids, and you get them excited about it because you do fun projects and goofs that really gets them excited about this.
Yeah, that's it. It's kind of like hiding the vegetables, right? Kyle, your son was here last time, and it's like, basically, I'll make a video about like a Jello pool, and that seems exciting. It's like you click on it, but before you know it, you're learning about chemistry and the scientific method. So it's this idea of like getting people stoked about science and education, but making it entertaining at the same time.
And it's been a pretty profitable business for you. One of the things that you created are these Crunch Labs science experiments that you send out on a subscription basis.
Yeah, it's basically, last time we talked about Build Box, so that's for kids. It's like a monthly toy that comes to your porch, and I teach you the engineering of how it makes it work. And now we have Hack Pack, so this is for teens and adults. So this is like a robot that comes in a box. And then, there's probably a lot of people watching who've never learned to code. So this is like a great first step. So, this is like a desktop turret, coming your way.
Shoot, Joe.
And you refill the magazine. So, it's this idea of just like making it fun and interesting, the carrot versus the stick approach. And we just like, this is a great first step. Now for teens.
It reminded me of like a Patriot missile.
Yeah,
almost.
that's right, coming in hot.
Yeah, that is cool.
And what's cool too is like you can swap out the brain. So there's a microcontroller on this, so if you want to up the functionality.
You don't have to build that, do you?
No, you get to build it. What do you mean have to build it, right?
There's no way I can do that.
You can, and this is it, right?
Yeah.
Engineering is a superpower because it's like you can actually will something into existence that doesn't exist. And so this is like a first step for learning how to create and make stuff.
I will tell you, Kyle's a subscriber, so we get these things at home. We don't have this one. I think he needs to upgrade to the
time to
next
level up.
level of this.
How many? Is there one microprocessor? Or how many?
Yeah, that's right. So each one comes with, there's one brain basically.
And I don't have to do that.
No, you don't have to build it. It comes, you just pop it in.
Pop it in.
No programming required, but my goal is to take you from wherever you're at and level you up so you can program to make it do other cool stuff.
And you write some code?
If you want.
It's
will
scaring
work.
me.
It will work when it comes to you out of the box. So like you're a great target customer. Like, it will work right out of the box.
I don't think so. I'm a great target for that thing.
Well, I'll give you my phone number, one-on-one customer support. But then, you guys talked about it in the launch. So again, hiding the vegetables. We just built a satellite and we're launching into space. It looks like this. This is a scale model. And there's a camera. This is probably like 1 to 5. It's going to orbit the Earth at 5 miles per second. And then you can upload your picture to this, and then it'll take your picture with the Earth photobombing you. And if you tell me your zip code when you upload it, then we'll take it when we're like over your house, like over your city.
So you can stand outside and get it in twice. Now, it's free, but you have to be a subscriber, so it's not free.
So if you're a subscriber, it's free. Or if you just donate a box to a kid who can't afford it, then you can also get it, $30. And that's kind of our thing. We're in an all brains on deck situation in the world right now. So like the more people, especially the young folk who get stoked about, STEM careers, like that's our dub. We want to reach as many brains as possible.
Let's talk about the math of the creator economy and how this works, how you get paid on these things. Because to this point, you have done this all yourself, putting out these boxes. I think you said it's low 7 figures that you've been able to launch this initiative with, and then the subscriptions that come in.
So now we have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Our revenue's up like 500% when we first launched. But there are a lot of creator business. There's a handful of creators' businesses worth $1 billion, and for every business that's worth $1 billion, there's 1,000 worth $10 million, and that number is going up every year. So
are you worth $1 billion?
No.
Not you.
Yeah.
Your thing.
No, we. No, but it's like
you're thinking about it. So
yeah. And like honestly,
you're rounding up.
We talk about brains reach, like that's truly what we're going after, but we have no investor money. Like we started this from scratch, and you can do that. You can be profitable in a week. We'd made our money back and sold out these boxes. Because when you reach 400 million eyeballs a month, you could talk about something and get the word out, right?
But you are now looking potentially for investors to expand and go beyond?
Potentially. I mean, our big thing now, again, we've created a foundation. We know this works. We know this gets kids stoked. So through the foundation, we've already raised like a couple $1 million of getting these to folks who are like underprivileged or underrepresented. And it's so fun.
I'm still a huge fan of the videos because that is the platform that started all of this.
And that's the key. And we still make the monthly videos, and you've got to make those, and those end up being a driver for telling folks about this, right?
The fake boxes to catch
thieves.
The glitter bombs to catch thieves who were stealing packages, which you created because you were just really mad at people stealing your Amazon and other packages.
And again, this is the beauty of being an engineer, right? Yeah. Everyone's had this, felt this feeling, but it's like, hey, I helped put a rover on Mars, right? I could design something to get back at these punks. And so we had 7 iterations every year getting crazier. Eventually we had like drones that came out of a fake package. That
you don't have one this year,
dropped clear. This year we did it, yeah.
But every month you're still spending 6 figures to put together these videos.
100%.
And that's what draws in the video, that draws in the subscribers.
Yeah.
Mark, we love what you do. I
just checked you out. I'm not checking you out. I checked out. So Brea,
Orange County.
In Orange County. Yeah. I know. I used to live in Yorba Linda.
Oh, no way.
I certainly did. And then Brigham Young.
Yeah.
But then you're a Trojan. You got a master.
I know. That's right. Yeah. So
rough weekend, but
yeah. And then I actually did grad school Yeah, when I was at NASA.
And then the JPL, that's in Pasadena. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's in Pasadena.
So you live in Pasadena?
Southern California, yeah.
Yeah, I lived in
And now I'm in
Pasadena,
the Bay
too.
Area. Then I worked at Apple for 5 years. So it's like, yeah, I'm a YouTuber.
You're 9 years at JPL, right?
Yeah, that's right. So about a decade at NASA, 5 at Apple, and now doing their special projects group, and now just the YouTube thing and this full time.
It's really cool.
So you were quite nerdy.
Yeah, still am, and proud of it.
Yeah,
and proud of it, right?
I agree.
It's a great time to be a nerd. In the 80s, like you wanted to be a jock, but now, you want to be a nerd.
It's a really cool time to be a nerd.
Yeah, this is our time. This is our time.
That's
Mark,
awesome.
we love having you here.
Great to be here.
Mark Rober, and again, I take issue with YouTube's math.
Yeah, I'm go straight to the top on that one.
Yeah.
To see video clips of Mark Rober's Crunch Labs kits, check out our social media feed on X. Our handle is Squawk CNBC. Thanks for listening to today's podcast. Squawk Box is hosted by Joe Kernen, Becky Quick, and Andrew Ross Sorkin. Tune in weekday mornings on CNBC at 6 Eastern to get the smartest takes and analysis from our TV show right into your ears. Please follow Squawk Pod wherever you get your podcasts. That's it. Have a great Tuesday, and we'll meet you right back here tomorrow.
And we are clear. Thanks, guys.